Click, click, click. Clickety, clickety, click. All right. Actually, you know what? You know what I should legitimately do? What I should actually do is copy the Tifa deck. Alright, so nope. Not really interested in that or that. Or that. I don't think I want Bristly Bill. No, not really. How many... I don't think we can actually play Molt Tender. I don't think I can play Forage either. Maybe. Azusa. Probably. Gene Pollinator. I don't really have anything to tap with it, though. I can tap Utopia Scroll. Yeah, I don't really have anything to... A Boreal Grazer, Kami, Utopia Scroll, Sylvan Safekeeper. Maybe. I can't tap my commander, so... Yeah, I don't think I'd like that much. I haven't much time today. Regardless, so... Evening. Finale is fine. Anything big, dumb, and scary is fine. Probably the One Ring. These two? The Seek and Elf Planeswalker? What do I guess there's 6 elves in here. Priest of Titania is funny. I don't hate Fierce Empath, actually. Boop. I don't really like elves in Historic Brawl, like as a thing. I guess if you're black and green, you have a lot more going on with Tyvar. I don't really like it here. Yet untaps Rofellos. I feel like if I tap Rofellos the first time, I'm fine. I'm more concerned about doing it the first time. But I mean, sure. What else untaps him? Do I even own? Hold on. I don't think I even own... Yeah, I've never played this. I don't even own this. I'm just really not concerned about that, though. I feel like I could just cast Cultivate in that spot, right? And then instead of having Rofellos tap twice, it just taps for more, because I just cast a ramp spell to put lands into play. And the ramp spells can't be killed like a Planeswalker. I don't really like protection spells. It's just gonna be Tifa. It's gonna be like Tifa, where I cannot fundamentally rely on it. Let's see. Technically emergent sequence puts a forest into play. Just go that route. Again, I don't have the time to linger if I want to actually play the game today. 4 mana explosive vegetations are alright. I'm going to keep collective resistance. I will keep that, but I'm not going to spam protection spells or anything. I might even want more things on the like big giant scary things, but who knows? Who knows? Again, I don't have the time. I also don't expect this commander to perform too well, but I could be wrong about that. You ideally want as many forests as possible. Maybe even Masseju should be a forest. Alright. We're here with Rofellos, Lenoir Emissary. 2 mana, 2/1. You taps for green for each forest you control. That is a ton of mana. I think I already talked about this. It came out yesterday with Renin 6 and all that other stuff. But I'll talk about it here again because I'm going to play it. This thing is extremely scary, but it's similar to Azusa, where you just play it and your opponent probably has to kill... Oh, excuse me, not Azusa. It's like Tifa, where your opponent has to kill it basically immediately, and I don't think this thing enjoys you spamming protection spells because it wants to go big with mana as opposed to going big with stats. So the protection spells are just weird. This also has 1 toughness, so it dies to one of the more played commanders currently because it just came out, which is Renin 6. Renin 6 is all over the place. It was yesterday. I assume it will be today as well. So this is effectively uncastable, and because of that, might be worth waiting to play this later. But I don't think it's that big of a deal to, give it a whirl now. Zuza, to me, is probably just a superior version of this in almost every conceivable way, because you need the thing out of hand, otherwise the mana isn't doing anything. And Azusa leaves behind the mana. This does not leave the mana behind. You can play it turn 1 way easier with, Chrome Mox and whatnot. But still, I don't really expect this to go crazy. You just need the scary thing out of your hand. That's the main issue here. And it dying all the time. It is incredibly intimidating for most opponents to just let this exist, so it's probably going to die very often. So because of that, it's kind of a plan B. Mono green doesn't necessarily need its commander, right? We see, 6? Yeah, 6 does a good job at being that sort of, I don't need a commander, but it's here when value is required in some degree type idea. This is probably scarier than 6, closer to Azusa. Still solid, though. I don't know. We'll see. The deck is incredibly similar to my Tifa list, which is just the big green things, whereas Tifa is just a side plan. This is sort of doing exactly the same thing, except with less random stuff like Blanche wood armor and whatnot. Could probably play even more expensive things on the off chance that I actually do untap with this. Someone brought up the elf planeswalker that lets you untap elves and seek for elves. I, A, don't own it, and B, untapping this is kind of neat, but you have to actually do that, and that would imply that this has lived a turn cycle and survived, and you also, cast your planeswalker and then you untap it. The initial turn of doing that, untapping this with that planeswalker, is you spent mana to actually cast the planeswalker, so untapping this is kind of weird because you just had spent 3 mana to just untap it. And that does make the planeswalker free, but you don't really net mana, and I think something like, Cultivate, another Cultivate effect, would just sort of give this initial tap more credence without relying on untap spamming. It's kind of my idea. Alright, that is that. Also, I unlocked my I guess, channel membership thing on YouTube. So if anyone's curious about that, that's now a thing, I guess. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I now have channel member stuff on YouTube. All right, let's go. I unlocked a new feature, I guess. One that will dang it. One that will probably never be touched pretty heavily by me because I don't know what I'm doing. Also, hello. Hey, alright, my opponent is probably doing the combo. Well, I mean, alright. Let's, maybe survive? I don't know. I can't get thought seized, so that's pretty cool. They actually took the Mox Amber, that's weird. I'm taking the Tooth... Wait, can you take Tooth and Nail? I think you can. It's kind of funny. Yeah, this is looking like the combo deck. It just runs all the discards. It's just the same thing I did when I played it. Unfortunately, I'm not really doing anything here. I don't have anything going on. So that's not ideal. Alright, we lose in like 2 turns. We have 6 mana. I can play this, then go to 4. Play this. Get... I don't even know. What did I get? Does anything interact with my opponent meaningfully? No, not really. If I draw a forest, we actually have... Actually, hold on, wait. None of this is ideal to me. I'm just grabbing that. Alright, if I draw a forest, I can maybe win the game. And that seems pretty neat. With Hornet Queen putting in permanence, maybe I'm safe that way as well. Still dead to reanimate, though. Four, 5, 6, 7. Alright, this is probably a removal spell because they're giving me Wishclaw Talisman. They can't give me Wishclaw Talisman. And also let me untap Rofellos, so this is kind of a weird thing to do. But it's necessary, I guess. They did have the land. So if this last card is reanimate, I lose the game. Yep. Alright, so... I didn't have the forest anyways, so they just sort of put themselves in the same position, essentially. Alright, if that last card is reanimate, I lose. Maybe it's not. They're thinking about maybe doing it for less than... I'm not sure. Alright. Who knows? Alright, we did it. My opponent was probably thinking about... Oh, I don't really know. They're thinking about not casting this, and they came to the conclusion that they shouldn't. But, yeah, this is the benefit of dodging... The main game plan here is to do it for 2, reanimate the thing, and then just annihilate your opponent for, like, Annihilator 10 or whatever. But the discard spells don't really play too well when your opponent has a a mountain of redundancy in hand. Like, all of these cards are kind of the same. Also, I would never give this back to my opponent in any conceivable way. That would just not be a good idea, so nice. I don't really know what they're thinking about. I'm trying to assess what that last card is, but it wasn't reanimate, so I don't really know. I don't know. I do not know. Alright, this is a new commander. It's the one that doubles ETBs and death triggers. Alright, you're correct. We did it. We beat it. It's just a blue-black Yarick. It's like a mix of Yarick and Garuda. Well, this is the Azusa Conundrum. I think I'm going to keep this, though. Oh, I haven't played against this in a minute. I think the last time I saw this commander, wasn't it the one that got the 1 in bajillion outcome? I think it was this one. I think it is. I'm not sure. It got like a 1 in trillion outcome out of my deck or something like that. Okay. Well, that's insane. That's just cracked in half because my commander is a thing of that. Oh, or I just lose to wash away anyways. Excellent. I mean, I'm confident I'll get to play the game. I'm sure it'll happen. Yep, silly me. Alright, yep, you got it. Drowning in talent. Drowning in talent. We were strictly worse than Azusa that game. In every conceivable way. 3 or less? Okay. So, land. Come on. You got it. Whatever. Ridiculous. Well, apparently that was fun for somebody. Cool. Could have conceded turn 2, let's be honest. It's not even anything I think about, just watching my opponent play the game. Not even play the game. Not even playing the game. Well, this is just whoever has a better hand, I guess. Planar Bridge is reliable, so I'm going to keep it. Planar Bridge is reliable. I don't really have any interest in playing the elf version. I don't know why anyone would play elves with this. It just doesn't matter. Like, the elves don't matter at all with this card, so... 6... Alright. I can activate it next turn, and we'll go from there. Oh, silly mate. My opponent just has the best card in the entire game that not only blows up my commander, blows up my planar bridge. So I guess I lose, unless I draw something ungodly. Or I guess they disconnect. That would be not very ideal. I mean, they could actually just come back in 2 turns and I would still have nothing going on. It's funny. Yep, it looks like Kogla was just the big thing out of hand this game, and it 100% perfectly hard countered me in like every conceivable way. I don't think there's anything I can do except bank on drawing something that matters. I also lose Utopia Sprawl. I don't think that matters, though. What the heck does this do? Whenever another green enters... What? I don't... Okay. Yep, that tracks. My opponent's one good card beat my one good card. It, like, basically had to be Kogla. Yeah, it just, like, had to be exactly Kogla, really. Because it couldn't have even have been Cityscape Leveler. It had to be Kogla. So we just lost the coin flip, I guess. Or I had to be omniscient and know my opponent's, one Rofellos card was specifically that. I'm not gonna flare my Llanowar Elves. Alright, cool. Look at that. Diamond Weapon. Whoa. Alright. Talk about green not needing a commander. I'm gonna draw. Come on. Oh, alright. Well, this is just... No, that hand's absolutely ridiculous. This hand is slightly less ridiculous. So I guess I'll give it... Oh, no surprise there. Alright. I guess that tracks. Well, so far our opponent has just been better than us as Rofellos. It's kind of funny. Oh, I haven't even needed it. Forest, play this, have 4, 5. Play this first, because this is free. And I also don't die, so that works for me, I guess. Wait a minute. This reanimates their lands and then they can't cast Diamond Weapon. Isn't that just counterintuitive? It's probably just super easy to cast Diamond Weapon anyways, because you're just mono green. It doesn't actually matter. It appears to be the case. It just looked a little weird. Alright, well, they have the Great Henge, and I don't. So I'm not currently winning. I do get to cast Famished World Sire for the first time in my life. That'd be pretty neat. They did not swing. That is a mirror breaker right there. So 1, 5. I have to tap this. Is what it is. Alright, don't fail me, please. Gotta be kidding me. It failed me just absolutely miserably. So... Yep. Suppose that makes sense to happen. Non-combat damage? Nope, it's combat damage, of course. I needed, I think, one more forest in that pile of 600 cards. I think I have to play Nissa, and I have to blow up the Great Henge. Assuming I'm not just dead. That doesn't have trample and is kind of just useless, so I'm just gonna... I don't want to kill the weapon, though. It doesn't have trample. Ancient Tomb. Well, suppose it's essentially the same as drawing a forest, except it costs life. So, of course, that's the one I get. Wait a minute, hold on. I can actually play it for 7? Are you kidding me? I have to do math now? You've got to be kidding me. I can actually play it for 7. Okay, 1... 5, 4, 5. Why does it say triple Phyrexian mana? Okay, like that? No way. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. It's a 7-mana overrun because I only have 3 forests. Oh, never mind. Never mind, never mind, never mind. Why did I get excited about that? I don't know. I got overly excited, I'm sorry. I thought we could slam this into play with 7 loyalty. I'd have to tap, overrun, 8, 13, 6. Ah, it's not lethal anyways. It's not lethal anyways. Well, at least now I can get to cast this. Okay. What? Oh, it just says a blocker. Yeah, fine. This doesn't, again, doesn't have trample, right? Oh. So, green. I can swing. What does this do? From among the mill cards, so you can't get the same card again? Okay. If I swing, I kind of die. So, I don't think I can swing. I could still just be dead here. But whatever I do, I think just always involves the, blowing that card up. And my opponent just milled Craterhoof Behemoth. Excellent, yep. I'm glad I spent all that time thinking about stuff. Yep, makes sense. Alright, well, everything went swimmingly for the opponent, and nothing worked out for us. Cool. Not a single thing. We had the Devourer and hit 3 forests. If I hit, like, any more forest... Actually, that's kind of it. If I hit any reasonable amount of forests with that card, I was fine. Because then I could Nissa Ultimate. I needed, like, 2 more forests. I low-rolled so hard with that card. It's nuts. Rolled so low with that. I think I was completely fine there. I haven't seen Renin 6 yet. Kind of funny. What? Okay. Yeah, of course. Of course, yeah. Whatever. Well, that was a game. I played it. Okay, can I play against someone who doesn't have the best thing in their deck every time? That'd be pretty cool. Can I play against anyone who doesn't have the literal best cards possible? Or just be on the play. I'll take that. I'll just be on the play for once. That'd be nice. That would be ideal. Shoot, just let me play against Renin 6. Just stop giving people the best things. What did they put under the Chrome box? I looked at it and then I forgot. I guess it doesn't matter. Oh look, Chromox Vivi. The best thing in the entire deck again. Oh, they don't have a land to go with it. Wow. Alright, it's no longer the best thing ever. Sweet. On the right side, I don't need my commander. So that's pretty cool. Oh, the delirium thing? Okay. Man, if I had Sundering Titan this turn, that would be great, wouldn't it? So, Voltborn Tyrant? That doesn't feel like it makes any sense. And then Nissa? What is Nissa doing? I don't know. I'm casting this. Probably too late for Sundering Titan now. I mean, most assuredly too late for Sundering Titan. Not even sure what I'm contemplating at this point. Alright. Well, I played cards. None of it mattered. I don't think a single thing I did that game mattered. I had like 0 impactful plays. I really wish Defense of the Heart was something else here. Definitely. Sure. Well, who knows? Maybe it'll do something. It's in play now. There is nothing I can do whatsoever. Kind of tragic. That was probably my window to get something done, and I didn't. There's nothing I can do. If they overcommit all their stuff, maybe we're fine. Looks like that is maybe the case. It looks like it actually is the case. That's unbelievable. Alright, well this is what happens when Vivi doesn't have it. That's just what it looks like. They don't have to discard anything. Unless they want to kill Rofellos. They just don't have to do that. But they chose to do it. Okay. They did not have to get rid of any cards there. I don't think my commander matters anymore. I suppose I could still cast it, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, right, I can't cast it. Never mind. Ulamog is colorless, so Mox Amber is colorless. Leaving up Beseiju it is. Opponent's running Jinkataxius. Interesting. I suppose it makes sense, though. Hornet Queen. Alright, not the best. Can still just lose next turn, because that's what Vivi does. But now they can't swing at me. If that matters. Unless they have River's Rebuke. Can actually still... Yeah, if my opponent went land River's Rebuke, all the things I did just didn't matter. They would have just knocked me back to the Stone Ages. So that negate was actually more impactful than I had initially thought. I thought it was just like fine, but it wasn't, because it stopped me from doing anything the turn after. And we had an utterly dead card in the matchup with Defense of the Heart. But sometimes Vivi just doesn't have everything it needs. So, that's what it looks like. Sometimes it just doesn't have all of the cards it needs. It's Vivi without the Mox. That's what it looks. That's Vivi without the Mox. Oh my goodness. Please. Fix this, wizards. Stop doing this to me. I mean, mono green doing green things that hasn't been our issue. Honestly, I don't think we've had any issues. I'm kind of over resistance, though. I don't think we've had any issues. Well, you know, in the context of what we're trying to do, we're doing the thing we want to do. It's just not working. Our opponents have just been completely stomping on us with like hyper efficient perfect answers, so it's not really on us. Can I play like more random weird like I don't know, what does Mono Green want to do that I'm not doing for some reason? Beast Whisperer? That really doesn't solve anything. Neither does Harmonize or Guardian Project. Yeah, I don't think that solves anything. We're already trying to play big things. I don't have to. Does this turn them into forests? It does. Does that matter? It costs 5. I don't feel like that actually matters. Each forest you control. I mean, it's a 5-drop. It's a 5-drop. Is there a good mana sink? What's a good mana sink? Something that you can just continuously pump a bajillion mana into. Green Sun Zenith? What is that doing? What am I even Green Sun Zenithing? I guess you can get Crater Hoof Behemoth, but again, that doesn't seem right to me. I mean, I already have the Finale because Finale actually wins the game. Green Sun doesn't. I don't know. I don't think I like Green Sun here. Kogla's okay. Yeah, it can get Crater Hoof Behemoth, but I have to have some kind of board presence, and that some kind of board presence usually wins. So I don't need it to over-trample my opponent's face. Like, all the creatures I'm playing are, like, individually scary. If I have enough creatures to kill someone with this, I don't know. I mean, it's another card to find it. Sylvan Tutor's sort of the same. It's just like another way to get to this. I'm going to take out the World Sire. Been a colossal disappointment. Also, do I even own Green Sun Zenith? Technically didn't answer your question. I don't know if I do own Green Sun Zenith. I might not. I can't remember if I've ever played it. Or not. I don't think I do own it. Oh, no, I don't. I don't own it. I don't own it. It is a rare. It's actually obtainable. Again, Great Henge is the same logic. The card I want to cast itself is like a game-winning scary threat. I don't want a card that then draws more cards later. Great Henge is only good if I have stuff in play. That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in getting things in play. I'm not interested in, now that I have a giant thing in play, I can do other things. Gigantosaurus Nykthos. Found it. Found it. Wait, what does shared summons do exactly? Put them in your hand, okay. Boots doesn't save my commander. It doesn't work. Swiftfoot Boots doesn't save my commander. It doesn't. It fundamentally does not work. Sylvan Primordial is kind of a low power 7-drop, I feel. It's really scary in multiplayer, but 1v1, I don't feel like a naturalize. I mean, it blows up a land, but I don't. That doesn't seem right. I do like this card, though. Dianus? What? Nature's Rhythm? It doesn't have the big scary payoff. Is it green? No, it isn't. This is going to actually get Ulamog. I should probably maybe play Ulamog. Akogla's decent. Maybe 6 drops are the way to go. So, like, you can untap with Rofellos, 3 forests, boom, 6 drop. You know, that is saying that you got away with all that stuff. Alright, I don't like Sundering Titan. Be gone. What is Dionys? Oh. It just doubles your Rofellos taps. Again, this would be better in my deck as a explosive vegetation. Explosive vegetation can't die. Does the same thing. Alright. I'm not disappointed with those changes. What was my quest? Oh, I guess I completed it. Didn't even pay attention. I was so busy losing, I forgot I had a quest. Oh. Ah. What is this? Alright. That thing again. This thing has been all over the place today and yesterday. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. Did I lie? Is that a lie? No, it's not a lie. That is in fact the truth. I've said the truth. All right, so we have a curve. We're on the draw again. Not very helpful here, especially on the draw with no 1-drop in this deck. Seems really like that's at your most uphill. It's gonna be right. All right, looks like they're over it anyways. Interesting. I wonder why. They didn't even mulligan. They could have mulliganed. I don't feel like. Rofellos is not the kind of commander I'm ever interested in auto-conceding to. Huh. Tifa maybe, but still, Tifa's another one I'm not convinced I'm auto-conceding. Ever. I mean, to be fair, there's not many commanders I would actually auto-concede to. To be fair. They were also on the play. Very confusing. Just like Azusa, you might as well make your opponent have it. Ashiok. Ooh, it's the weird Ashiok too. That's exciting. I like this one a lot. You know, to be honest, I like both Ashioks a lot. I should probably cast Glimpse the Core so I don't lose the ability to cast it later. But if I cast my commander, they cannot cast their commander, and then I can just do it next turn anyways. Alright, that's fine. Because now they can't. Okay, they do it anyways. Interesting. Nissa, I feel, is quite problematic. They target themselves, so something about their own graveyard is going on there. 6. It seems like a very incorrect thing to do. Not cast this. Just seems completely incorrect to me. Could I have played Grazer first? This would have tapped for 1 more, I suppose. But yeah, this giant planeswalker could actually be a significant problem. We shall see. Just having something in play if my commander dies is a good idea. Target themselves again, sure. Mills stuff. I assume my opponent at least has all the Delve cards. But I haven't seen anything else really that makes me enjoy milling myself yet. Looks like it is a delve card. Ideally, actually it doesn't really matter which one it is. Okay, well, they have one of the delve cards to go with their thing. There's not exactly a lot of these. Craterhoof Behemoth, that's funny. Alright, I'm gonna go to combat. I'm gonna kill this. Lets me cast Glimpse the Core. I don't lose to Mana Drain. Looks like they have Tails End or Stifle. We now know this to be a thing. They will cast it. I'd love for them to cast Tails in here. Okay, same thing. And then play you. Well, wait. Yep. And then, for the sake of it, I'll play this. Doesn't do anything, especially with my opponent's commander, but having it in play gives me that random thing I can do, maybe. A lot of people seem to forget they're playing Magic. What do you mean? What do you mean? They can't minus here. Oh, plussing is about the same, though. Wow, they do minus. That's crazy. It just dies to Rofellos. Oof! Okay, well, I'm gonna just... probably now just win the game. Well, that's not necessarily true. That is not necessarily true. They could just go land River's Rebuke, and then I, like, don't have anything at all. I don't even have the mana to recast Nissa. So... River's Rebuke just offsets my entire everything ever. They fetched really quickly, and then they just started to think about stuff. Okay, that immediately dies to my thing here. So maybe they're trying to find... Reanimate? I have no idea. Set Adrift? Where does it go? On the top? Cool. Then they lose it forever, sure. Pretty sure Craterhoof is lethal. Is it? Are they dead without it? 19? No, they're not dead without it. Wait, hold on. I have to tap... Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Alright, well, I'm not going to say Craterhoof won that game. I don't know what my opponent could do next turn, but that's kind of a cool strategy. It was actually a bunch of delve spells. I didn't see any creatures with some kind of reanimate package, which I think would be ideal. At least run reanimate, maybe? But, yeah, and you're in blue, so you can actually discard the big stuff as well, reliably. So I think maybe if there's a reanimate pack... There could be still. You know, I don't actually know, but... Yeah, Treasure Cruise is pretty neat with this stuff. Cool. I liked what I saw there. There were lines or potential cards my opponent could have had that would have basically put them to a winning position immediately. Well, Magic Arena is a mobile game, so I imagine there's a lot of people that aren't 100% paying attention. Alright, found our first Ren and 6 player. We found him. We're on the play at least, with a good card, so that's pretty cool. We take those. I think I'm still casting my commander. I think I can cast it twice. It depends what else there is to do. No, I cannot cast it twice. I don't know why why I think I can cast it twice. I can't do that. Okay. So ideally, I continue to hit lands. Ideally. Another ideal thing would be no fetch land. Extremely unlikely, but okay, it did happen. They didn't have a fetch land. So Renin 6 not getting the juices are not flowing with it currently. It can still just plus forever. They do commit a minus, that's fine. Defense. Is that better than POC? Well, when you don't have a land it is. So now they can't create a board presence, but that might not even matter to them. This is the exact kind of board state, full stop, that Renin 6 just wants to see. So... like, they do not have to play 3 creatures ever as Renin 6. They have some kind of one... Oh, come on! Whatever. It's 4 toughness, it's not 5. Or 3, so I can cast it into this lightning bolt, whatever. Unless it's a lightning axe. Then it wouldn't matter anyways, I guess. Okay, so they cannot cast another creature, but they don't have to. I'm just out here just suffering miserably. I don't even... I mean, if my commander is useless, I'll just play this one. So, in some weird world where my opponent doesn't have more and I draw, I don't even know. But whatever they do, it just can't be another creature. And it doesn't really have to be, because I'm just dead to this. Well, they missed damage, which is kind of crucial. They did miss damage. They didn't have to miss damage there. I don't know what I'm trying to draw. I don't think anything matters. Land 6. Yep, no, that doesn't matter either. Okay, thanks. Just in time. Just in time. Okay, what am I even doing? I'm watching someone play with their like toes. It was like extremely like I'm so blatantly dead. I'm watching someone play with like their pinky or something on their phone. Yeah, I'd say maybe today has been a little disproportionate with that. I don't normally hark on that too much, though. Don't know other people's circumstances. So it just is inconvenient when you play against, like, 5 really slow players in a row. No big deal. It's not their fault. Unless it is, of course. Let's get rid of Archdruid's Charm. I could get rid of Ulamog as well. Yep, I'm getting rid of this. That's what I'm doing. Well, every of Rofellos opponent has had the thing. Okay, so I can just cast stats. This isn't the craziest thing to cast, but it's just something to put into play. That is a fetch land? What? Okay. Don't get that too much. This looks like it's actual elves. Which I guess makes some kind of sense. I mean, to be fair, the only one that cares about elves is this one so far. I can play this and then do nothing. Should probably set up an Ulamog. Alright. Well, they have more mana than I do. Okay, sure. Yeah, it looks like elves. Looks like elves. Again, so far the only thing that has mattered about that is specifically this card. Okay, they found the other one. Well, when you draw them, they look insane. When you just have them. What? Okay, sure. Hawk, Forest, 1, 2, 5. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope. The LVD list. Those are certainly forests. Alright. I mean, all of this is great, but you just... I mean, come on, you can't normally expect to get to this point. It's historic brawl. I don't know. Like, if you're up against the mirror... Well, your opponent would be doing the same thing, but still, it's just funny. Like, you don't... You should... This is not an expected outcome, and I will stand by that. They also had, like, both of these, which is a little nuts. There's not exactly a lot of this in the game. But yeah, the main issue here is, I'm not, like, pressuring them with removal. Like, if I just killed their stuff, like, none of this would be happening. I don't think... there's a weird world in which I win this. Oh, wait. Hold on. What? Staff of... Alright, so now they have a combo. Now they have a combo. So now the game is over. Alright. You got it. Staff of Dominion is cool. I did not think of that at all. Staff of Dominion is cool. However, you still need, like, 6 lands. Everything... I mean, come on! You need too many things in play to do what my opponent did. You cannot expect to get away with any of the stuff they did, like, in this format. You just can't. I swear by that. I've played enough of this format to know you can't do what my opponent did and get away with it. Unless, of course, you're playing against some mono-green stuff or whatever. But there's so many answers in this format to everything that, like, that's just not realistic. It's just not realistic. I will swear by it. I completely disagree. If I played that deck with those cards, we would do what my opponent did probably 3 times, and then lose the other 15 games. And the 3 games we would win would probably be the mirror, where my opponent has no interaction. But I'll leave all that to the outro. The outro. I can try it. Can try to play all those cards. I don't own Staff, right? I don't think I do. Staff requires... Ooh, is it 6? How much do you need for Staff to go infinite? Oh, I don't... Not that one. This one. You need... Okay, so this has to untap. So 1 untapped creature. You need 5. It needs to tap for 5? Untap, pay 3. Yeah, it needs to tap... Rofellos needs to tap for 5 for this to go infinite. Or any of your other, like, elves that are effectively the same. There's certainly merit in that. Like, the other things that tap for more than 4 mana when you tap them can work out here. Yeah. So you need 5. Okay. Well, most of our games are over when we have 3 forests. So I don't... Again, it's just not... But that is an avenue to victory. I just don't own it. Something to think about. I do like the Staff. I'll admit that. But I do not like the all the elves are just in your deck for no reason kind of thing. I just don't think you can play elves, okay? I don't think you can play a bunch of elves that just sit there and then die to most of what your opponents are doing. I just have no faith. If I had River's Rebuke, I actually would have just won that, right? Because they only had, like, what? Well, River's Rebuke, I don't know. Does that bounce those weird land tokens? I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure about that. I think this is the person we played earlier, and we didn't get to do anything. Yeah, it is. This is the same opponent from earlier. Oh, I'm on the play, though, this time. I didn't even mentally register that. Probably take the Hornet Queen. Actually, I don't know. Oh. Sure. I feel like I'm not doing that, but no, it's fine. I'm not going to do that. So, look at top 5. Land. Okay, well, I'm ahead, but I don't have, like, a game-winning explosive play or anything out of this. But my top decks are fairly hot. And there's quite a few of them that are kind of significant, so... That enters tapped. Yeah. Probably doesn't matter anymore. That's not too great here. I think I'm still casting it. Oh, I guess I did that slightly backwards. I did that backwards. Alright, I'm done. I'll accept that. I'll accept the dumbness. Alright, well we have a board presence, but it has to amount to a victory. Again, there are top decks that do stuff. They blocked with a mana source there, which is a little suspect to me. They did just block with the mana source. Alright, yeah, I figured as much. There's no other reason to block with a mana source. I draw Stone Cold Nothing. I'm not going to play it, though. I can play almost everything in my deck. Well, that's excellent. Love to see it. Oh, cool. Fascinating. Just how we drew it up. Okay. Yep. I guess I'll see what the next two cards are, and then... whatever. Alright. Excellent. Well, see? And that's exactly why the last thing we saw with the Rofellos player was not going to accomplish much. It would just auto-lose to what my opponent did. All the same. Hornet Queen playing... You know what the issue with Hornet Queen is here? Is I'm not in any position to play... Well, it doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter. No, it really doesn't matter. Yeah, it just doesn't matter. You can play something else instead of it, but it's not going to change anything. Ujin is sort of like another version of Cityscape Leveler that draws cards. And at this point, I just don't care. I don't have a bunch of colorless cards. Green Haste on Arena? Like what? Questing beast? Stuff like that, you mean? I still stand by that. I think Ujin is just a meteor golem, right? It can actually play meteor golem with the upwards benefit of exiling something when you cast it, but I don't know why we want haste all of a sudden. I don't know what that's doing. Because my last opponent was at 5 when they won? What? Still like the Defiler. Maybe just not play Azusa? Well, I mean, we're mono green. We're just a big green deck. That's what we do. We play big thing pass. I don't think Serac dealing 6 damage when it enters is that more significant, or it's not winning me the game I would have otherwise lost. Does it do something I'm not aware of? Trample. No, I do not care about this. No. I think it's just another Eldrazi with a scary cast trigger, so it at least always sort of does something. It's not like I've been struggling with stuff. Like Portal would be fine. Maybe not these. I mean, I'm open to suggestions. I'm not, like, swatting the suggestions down to swat them down. I just don't agree that that's a suggestion I would take, and I'm explaining why. I'm not saying it's like a... I'm not saying don't give me suggestions, I just don't agree with that one, specifically. Oh, if we had another land. Well, we're on the draw. We're on the draw. Alright. It's possible. This is another new commander. Alright, I did not draw a land. It's still probably just insanely good. It's still probably... but I would like another land here. Suppose technically I had 2 draws at it. Not just one. Tyvar Pummeler? Is that a menacing? Yeah, like Nylea or something? Okay, we did hit the land. Okay. Now we can do stuff. Such as, but not limited to this. Alright, well, we have Hexproof from, or Shroud from the stuff. Whenever you discover, investigate, scry, surveil, seek, deals 1 damage to my face. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, no, swinging makes sense. Well, unfortunately for my opponent, they can't really do anything to stop me. Okay, they found a thing to stop me. Did they kick that? I can play a land still. Do I play this land? No. There's no real reason to play it, but I also don't need Mythweaver Pock to do anything with it. It doesn't matter, I'm not playing it. I don't need more mana, no matter how you slice it. That was an interesting card. They did this for 2 and not 3. Okay. Sure. This scries Wait a minute. Okay. So I'm dead? Yep. Cool. Alright, looks like the chant was good. Silly me. That was probably the only card in my opponent's entire deck that won the game there. Wow. Is that in oh, I also Silence, so they had like Chant Silence as the only cards that would have won the game. Okay. I don't think Silence is annoying. I think it's a fine card. Well, I mean, it's annoying when it, you know, it hits you, I suppose. I don't have a problem with getting hit with Silence ever. But yeah, it's just Silence. That's really all they could do, because any sort of interaction was quelled. See, this is the annoying thing about this commander so far, is sure, I've been kind of doing what I want, but my opponents have just had the, like, perfect answer for everything. Like my Shroud was irrelevant. Yeah, like, I don't know. I've just been getting stonewalled by the perfect answers all day today. So let's play. I think my opponent is going to concede when I cast this, so I don't even know what I'm thinking about. Yep. I don't know why I sat there and acted like anything else mattered. Okay, well, that's what that looks like from this side. That's pretty neat. If anyone was curious what it looked like from that side. Now you know. Now you know what it looks like. Alright. As per usual. The old Azusa idea. Well, that's extremely good. You do that. I'm not going to play the Mox because it doesn't really matter. Next craft has to be a Gitrog monster. For me? Do I not have this one? I can't even remember. Maybe I don't. Alright, well, I don't think that counters the spell. It has a second legal target. Yeah. Alright, well, again, just like Azusa, I have to actually draw the card to do stuff. But on the bright side, it's not, too bad if they just keep casting removal spells, so... I need to draw something. Okay, well, excellent. Truly excellent. Glad I played that. Azusa again. Whatever. I wish this could exile anything else, but it can't. Oh, cool. Fun. Well, I thought I could play my commander with Chrome Mox, but my opponent has a 1-minute answer, so now we can't play the game at all. Nice. I think that literally won the game, because I can now probably resolve nothing for the rest of the game. Does that matter? Nope. Does that matter? Nope. Does that... Nope. Whatever. I mean, I'm going to cast it again. It's all the same, though. I can besage you the clock at some point in this, whatever. Well, sure. Combat? Yep. And then do nothing. Let's actually cast this. I'd rather just cast this than try to besage you channel. Okay, I'm not sure why they waited on that, but that's what they did. They probably just drew the counter spell off of that, so that's probably why they waited, actually. I don't think I'm in any position to play around anything. So, oh, well. I guess that's that then. Can I please top deck something good? Oh, I guess not. I sure had fun. Should have just went for the stupid card, because it's not like I was getting another turn anyways. Alright, well, that was boring. Lost 2 wash away. Probably should have conceded turn 1. Oh, looks like they have a Mox. Of course they do. I have a 6, but I don't have anything after the 6. Opponent, you didn't cast your Mox. What are you doing? I found a land, so now I have stuff to do. Oh, there's the best card in their deck. Exiles Dispel. Interesting. Apparently they had nothing. I don't know what they could have, but they have something. So, what matters here? Kind of nothing at all, really. I mean, they're just gonna give it protection, so I guess I can exile the Curiosity? So they can't do anything? Okay, they cast it anyways. Which I suppose makes sense. And then... yeah, I don't... This spell is definitely strange. But my opponent untapped with VV and had Chromox, so I don't think there's anything I can do anyways, if I wanted to. That doesn't do anything. I don't think there's anything to do here except this. Well, they had nothing to do last turn with all the mana, so unless they drew something immediately, I don't think they're going to do anything with it this time. Okay, well, I'm going to do it again. Alright, we did it. Vivi just didn't have the extra stuff. So giant spell after giant spell was too much. Would say that's not ordinarily a likely outcome. If they had Expropriate, they would have just won the game. So I would think on average, well above average, I'm not winning this game. At no point did I feel like I was safe or ahead. All it took for my opponent to win this was any scary spell, and they just didn't draw one, I guess. Okay. Yeah, they send a miscast or something. That'd be funny. Alright, I'm over this. I'm done. I don't like this. I don't like it. But I already knew that going in. Ugh. Alright, so... yeah, this is just awful to me. I think Azusa is better in every conceivable way. There are some exceptions to this that I was not aware of to begin with, like the staff is really a big one. It's a big, big one. It's a mythic, I can't get my hands on it, but this thing is excellent. All you need is, I believe, 5 mana, and then you go infinite. Just tapping Rofellos, untap it, tap Rofellos, just net infinite mana, draw infinite cards, do whatever you want, win the game. So there is a combo there. This is an artifact. It's not like you just get to have this card every game, because this is a green deck. You're not like black with Grim Tutor and all that stuff to just grab this all the time. But it would have been nice to have this out in my deck. Kind of just like Godo, where you just have it, and then when you do, you win. So I didn't have that, but I wasn't aware of it. Oh, wait, I wanted to put it in the deck. Boop. Just for the upload sake. Other than that, you should just play Azusa instead. This doesn't have much really that I'm excited about. You still have to just play the giant thing in a hand. You can play, and I saw it basically every time I played the Mirror, is some kind of elf deck where you just have 55 elves. I don't like that at all. I think most of the elves in the game are kind of just bad. You have some that are insanely powerful. You play them anyways, like the Manadorks, and then you have, I think this too. Yeah, you can bounce and untap Rofellos here, right? And then, what else? You have the really good ones in the form of... dang it. Well, I don't want to change that, actually. The 3-mana lords. You have Priest of Titania, which actually is a 2-mana one. I can't find anything right now. Yeah, you have Priest of Titania. So this is the big one for just going in on elves. You have Elvish Archdruid. You have, I suppose this, actually, sort of. There's another one that does the same thing. Each? What's the one that gets counters? Oh, there it is. You have Marwyn, the Nurturer, which is another one. This does demand that you have to like play elves after you've played it, so it's a little different. But there are these sort of giant explosive elf-based mana things. I mean, elves are no, stranger to generating a ton of mana. But in Historic Brawl, specifically this format, you do not have a ton of these. When I played against someone who was playing the elf thing, they had Marwyn, Elvish Archdruid, and something else with Rofellos. Like, they just had all of them at the same time. And in the Mirror, I can't interact at all. So it looked completely insane that my opponent had all that mana, and all I had was Rofellos. However, most of that mana doesn't do anything unless you have other cards that kind of play alongside of it. So you have this, like, sort of no one card is crazy kind of thing, but when you start to snowball, like, elf ball thing, you can get away with that, I guess. But the main issue is this format is so prepared for elves as a strategy. You're just not getting away with that unless your opponent is also doing something that sort of wants to ignore you, and you're just like, play this card, play that one, get some mana, draw some card. Like, you can do all of this stuff in a vacuum, but when your opponent has Toxic Deluge, like every black player has Toxic Deluge, every white player has, not everyone, but most of them have like a Wrath of God effect or something, and then the countless spot removal. It's just, like, even if I was actually Renin 6, if I was Renin 6, that elf kind of thing would have just gotten pinged into oblivion, and then they couldn't really stick onto the board, right? So any amount of interaction, and it does not take much interaction, is going to kind of really beat up an elf strategy. But you will have games where you win, and you're going to be happy that you won. Like, oh, I did all this cool stuff. Look how awesome my deck is. I generated 55 mana. I drew 33 cards. Yeah, but your opponent didn't interact with you. They didn't stop you, right? And most of this format is decided before you get to that point. There was a time where you could play Elf Ball, and there will be a time again where you can. I wouldn't be surprised. But as it stands, I don't think there's a lot going on for that strategy specifically. Like, we could just go through the list of things that I have played recently. Like, Zareth Mortis would love to play against elves all day. The stick finger combo just wins, right? Mono green isn't going to interact with you in any meaningful way. There's a Mardu combo here. There's a new combo with a new commander as well. I haven't played that one yet, but it's on my list. Perforos doesn't care too much. The Tat Yova thing has counter spells, right? Like the Tanic, the blue Tanic version of this thing. 5-color piles don't care. Like, there's so many things that don't really care about your Elf Ball situation, and it's across the entire color spectrum, including Ujin. Ujin can actually be a thing your opponent gets to by the before you go crazy. Ujin actually can just beat you anyways, because you have a giant thing, but if it didn't kill your opponent and it wasn't colorless, it doesn't matter, because Ujin can very reliably stabilize. There is, I guess, quote-unquote, haste threats, but actually Ujin can just be recast anyways, and that doesn't really help you out too much. So I have very little faith in the elf-style strategy of Rofellos. There's also the issue that it's not black, so you can't play, was it Tyvar? You can play the green one. I was talking about a Mana Sink. Was talking about playing Mana Sinks, but, like, the Tyvars, I think it's mostly this one. I've seen this one a few times, actually, but this is the one that does a pretty good job, at, becoming very scary very quickly, because you can untap a mana source and then use it to do something else, and all of them, as you cast them, like, sort of have haste, and then you can do, like, Beast Whisperer or Guardian Project and just, like, do the Elf Ball thing. But you have black, so you have really efficient tutors, extremely efficient interaction. You have stuff like Reanimate, too, to recur your stuff. You can actually reanimate Rofellos, I guess, and if this is in play, then Rofellos immediately taps for mana, because it has haste outside of combat. So, yeah, like, if you want to do the elf thing, I really think you could just play Tyvar and have a vastly better time of it. I don't think Tyvar's in, like, a higher bracket at all, or anything like that, so I wouldn't be concerned about that. I mean, I could be wrong. It's been, I don't know, 10 years since I've played it, but still. So I really just don't have faith in mono green Elf Ball, outside of the 12-ish really good cards that care about elves. There's the card advantage side of it, so if you play Guardian Project and your opponent doesn't deal with Guardian Project, then all of your creatures just amass advantage. It doesn't matter if they answer them, they replace themselves, so you're not nearly as screwed. So things like Guardian Project are really nice. Another one is the Great Henge is another Guardian Project, essentially, and then again Beast Whisperer, but that one is a creature. But yeah, just going through the elves, just because a card has the elf text line doesn't mean it's a good card or should be ran in elves anyways, right? Like, I don't know, think of one that's kind of like this thing. You can make 1/1s. It actually, you know what? This one has the mana sink. So with Rofellos is actually kind of nice, but you need elves. You need to actually play elves. You can't just do what I was doing. So yeah, I mean, if that's, some people swear by it. If you just want to play a mono green elf deck, then there you go, right? You can just do that. Though, ooh, I don't know. I really think this one might even be better than Rofellos. They might be close enough where Rofellos is just slightly faster than this. I'm not sure. Yeah, Rofellos actually... Okay, that might not be true. I think Rofellos is probably better than Marwyn as an elf commander, just because this gets reset every time it dies, and this doesn't. So that might have a lot of merit there. We were playing, technically, some of the elves, all the really good ones that every green deck plays anyways, right? Nissa and the Minidorks and stuff. I saw someone play Elvish Mystic. I think that's what it's called. Not Elvish Mystic. Elvish something. Where is it? Where's the 2-mana Visionary? Am I having like a senior citizen moment? What's happening? Is it not an elf? What's going on here? Oh. I'm so stupid. I was looking for this art. I'm just an idiot. I'm like, I couldn't recognize this. It goes to show how long it's been since I played it. There it is. Okay, I was staring at it and didn't realize. Yeah, Elvish Visionary. So, like, this is a solid one. It just draws a card. If you have enough elves, it feels kind of cool. It's a shining example of if you don't have one of the 4 or 5 Elf Matters cards in this format, then you just played a 2-mana cycler. And that sometimes is just fine, right? White likes to do that as well with that weird dog. And there's actually a few 2-mana 1/1s that draw a card. There's a couple enchantment ones and stuff, but you know, like this, like, it's just a weird thing to do. You know, like you're just playing it and you're amassing card advantage, sort of. Not really. If your opponent ever sweeps you, you lose. You're not playing an aggro deck, really, unless you consider like fast mana some sort of pseudo aggro thing. All in all, the point I'm trying to make here is I just don't like elf ball effects or deck styles in this format. I like it in Modern, Legacy, and stuff like that. EDH, just normal EDH, great. I like it there. I'd say I really like it there. Here, 1v1 Historic Brawl, nope. I think this is banned in 1v1 EDH as a commander. It's not banned here, obviously. It could probably be unbanned, if it still is. Unbanned in a 1v1 EDH, paper like EDH stuff, because it's I don't know. I could be wrong about that. I don't know what the cards are showing up in paper that we don't have that are really pushing this over the edge. But it's definitely in 1v1 EDH. It looks funny when your opponent is Baral, which I think is actually banned as well, and you're just Rofellos. It's just kind of a funny matchup to me. I don't know if Baral's banned still, but I don't feel like that one has any business getting unbanned. But yeah, I don't care for the elf thing. And I could have just went in the elf direction, because what I did was something I've done before, similar to Tifa already. So I could have just went down the elf line, and maybe in the future I will just play it again with elves. I think I'll have kind of a similar experience, though, where I'll just get this killed infinitely, or I'll just get hit by 55 Toxic Deluges, Damnations, Wrath of Gods, 15 removal spells, Fatal Push, Cut Down, Thoughtseize even could just really disrupt your payoff or whatever. And then you'd have to take out a bunch of big scary things to make room for the elves. It's not like I could just add the elves and keep the giant scary threats the same. I'd have to go more all in on like Craterhoof, kind of, because that's just a really nice thing to do with a bunch of elves. But yeah, there's a lot of issue. Oh, even River's Rebuke. River's Rebuke Cyclonic Rift. That just really rough too, because this adds for lands, and if you only have like 5 lands and all of your mana was in your creatures, a River's Rebuke resets you so hard that it is very difficult to come back. You don't just simply rebuild and pass back, because a lot of your mana was in your creatures, and you might not actually have a lot of lands in play. So Rofellos won't be tapping nearly as much in an elf-style thing, because you're not necessarily playing rampant growth effects, you're just playing elves. So you're more all in, you're more front loaded, but your front load just shows up maybe faster, I guess. But I don't know. I just can't recommend this commander in an elf thing, or really what I was doing. You should just play Azusa. So I don't know. If you like elves, play it. Play it as an elf thing. Don't play it as I played it here. Those are the words I have. So let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.